Grand Finals time here for the StarLadder I-League Invitational Season 4. We got one best of 5 remaining before we finally know who the champion is of this season. And who better than to be in the final than to be the defending champions, Team Liquid. They won last series. Can they do it again? They will go up against LGD this time, which was a group mate of them, and in the groups, they were able to 2-0 them fairly handily. But LGD has shown a lot of growth over the last couple of days, so this should be a very, very good one. A best of 5, and to talk you through it all, we have Pyrian Flags and Capitalist here with the panel, on the panel with me. English, very difficult.
With the panel on me. Yes.
Are you excited, Pyrian?
Sure.
Sure.
I missed the last game. I don't want to say why.
She was like, hyping up best of 5 grand final, Liquid versus the new challenger. Are you excited to? Sure.
But no, I
would have been hyped, but I was waiting for a call for 45 minutes.
I thought you didn't want to say why.
Best game
I got here and Fox was like, that was the best game of the last 6 months. I was like, great. So I'll have to watch the VOD.
In case you missed it, which I really hope you didn't.
It was hype as F.
It was so great. It was Team Liquid versus Mineski. It was a remake of last season's finals, and these two teams, they know how to fight, and it was such a joy, such a treat to watch. So hopefully you either didn't miss it, or you can go back and watch the replay. Although, you know, doesn't matter if you already know the results, because that game is going to blow your mind regardless, I think. But we're not here to talk about that game. We already did that. We're here to talk about LGD versus Team Liquid, and that should be a good one too, because LGD, they have learned, Capitalist. They have done increasingly better over the last couple of days.
Yes, they have. I feel like this is a team that could be the next team that's on the cusp of challenging the... If we were just to put this in tiers in a way where... Because I do think that the very top teams are separated from everyone else. So you're talking about Liquid, Secret, Newbie, maybe Virtus Pro, depending on how their new roster ends up.
I was going to say, you can't do that anymore, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
They're kind of iffy, so maybe not them. But those top 3, right?
Yeah.
I think they proved themselves consistently to be above and beyond the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
And it's just a question of who can challenge. In fact, it's kind of like in Smash Brothers. The Smash Brothers Melee scene, it's known as like the gods versus the god slayers, right?
Yep.
So there was 5 established gods in Smash Bros, and they were just like consistently some of the best. And then you had these newcomers who came up and could manage to take some series off of these established like best of the best.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what we're at right now with the top 3. And then we have Mineski, we have LGD. There are some other teams that are like kind of on the cusp. Maybe OG. I don't know where OG is right now. They just seem to be off. I would find that
a tricky one to add to the mix.
Maybe EG. Maybe. Obviously not that performance against Liquid, but
no, but they've been doing better.
Yeah.
I mean, they are also still a fresh team. You know, it's all about these fresh new teams. Now that the shuffle is almost over. I believe this is also the last shuffle before TI, right?
Yeah. Oh, so we have the recent one, right?
Yeah.
DDC joined VGJ.
Ooh, yeah, but you know,
and LFY is disbanding.
Yes. Yeah, that's a tricky one though.
Yeah.
But yeah, LGD versus Liquid. What are you thinking, Ted?
This game?
Yeah.
It's going to be a cracker. I'll tell you one thing. The semi-finals are generally the most hyped games, and then the final always kind of peters out, but I think this is going to be different.
I think someone's being a little bit salty.
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm serious. Semi-finals are generally speaking, everybody just, oh my god, amazing comebacks. By the time you get to the final, you've got to turn up. And Liquid know how to do that.
Yeah.
Do LGD? That's the question. We know they've got individual skill. Do they have the discipline to see out a 5-game series? 3-0 Liquid.
3-0?
Easy.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Painful.
I mean, that's not far off from my prediction.
Ooh, well, hold your predictions. It is time to open the grand final and start.
在现场的观众朋友，所有正在收看直播的 Dota 2的玩家朋友们，大家下午好。
And there you have it. The grand finals officially opened. And while BBC is also giving our audience an introduction, we will give you a further introduction of the teams that are about to walk on stage. Unfortunately, we can't translate to Chinese, so gotta hold for that. But
what happened, Shiver? I thought you knew Chinese earlier. You were translating.
I know a little bit, but I do know that he just said Team Liquid.
Let's go.
There you go. The boys
GH.
in white.
GH gone.
And
what?
blue.
Ted is already cheering for Liquid. What is this?
GH, give me a thumbs up, dude.
All right.
Love these guys.
They are
You're
the
just
TI champions.
Big fan. Go Liquid.
They are the defending champions. They are the champions of Group A. They have already beaten LGD to dust earlier in the tournament. And don't they look ready to play some Dota?
They do. They've got the Matoma Man's lucky shorts on.
Yep.
He couldn't wear those at Genting, I believe.
It's true.
No shorts were allowed.
I mean, and they did lose that final.
And they lost, so...
What do you mean allowed? You can't wear shorts?
Because they wanted the players to have a certain decorum.
Jesus.
Ted is...
It's video games, for Christ's sake.
A grand final wouldn't be complete if there wasn't two teams in it. So, LGD will join them on stage. LGD are here by the challengers.
Not a peep from the crowd here, not a popular team.
They're slightly biased here.
Is that why you were cheering for Liquid, Ted?
Yeah, I'm trying to, offset a little bit. These guys have got hundreds of fans in the crowd here, giving them a cheer on. Let's give Liquid a break, huh?
LGD, they went the hard road to the finals after getting knocked down. Well, actually, they started the tournament in style by 2-0 in complexity first. And then they got knocked down by Liquid to the lower bracket where they played yesterday. They were able to overcome enemy thrown against them, and this morning we saw them as well.
What?
Newbie, they were able to beat Newbie, the team that is known as the best team in China.
They were, but I think Newbie have looked a little shaky in this tournament even. It's weird that they beat Liquid and everyone's like, ooh, Newbie.
Yeah, everyone, I think like beating Newbie is definitely a very strong start for LGD. But I think there really isn't much of a question that the Newbie that we saw here at this tournament was not quite the same as
they're a little out of sorts.
They're
a little out of form, you know.
But that being said, I don't think we should take too much away from LGD because I do think they have the advantage of experience versus Newbie. Recent experience through scrims and that sort of thing. So I feel like they're probably pretty learned to what Newbie want to be able to run. Hopefully, they will be a little bit aware of what Liquid like to be able to run after being 2-0'd.
Yes.
And they did in the group stage.
Do you think that'll help?
I mean,
if someone
bosses
tells
are
you,
always learning
tells you they're going to kill you with a gun, knowing that they've got a gun and they're going to kill you isn't going to save you, Cap.
Yeah, because next time you'll wear a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, well then they'll come at you with 2 guns.
Well, then you'll wear the bulletproof vest will still work.
Knowing what is going to bring about your doom. Just saying though they killed me once, they can't kill me again. Guess what?
No, but at least you can protect yourself against what killed you the first time.
That was a common theme in Liquid versus Mineski, right? Mineski definitely knew what Liquid was running. We talked at length about how Mineski, strategically wise, was matching Liquid step for step. They very, very clearly, intimately understood what Liquid liked to be able to do with their strategies.
And did it save them?
It did not, Ted.
I believe you're making my point for me, Capitalist, but carry on.
I was trying to support you, Ted.
Oh, okay.
That's what good panelists do. They try and make each other look better.
No, I remember. We did the training together, right?
We did, yes.
Yes, and not
I've
yes,
never
but.
that. I've never forgotten that.
Do you still have the wristband, though?
No.
You know Ben Wu still has the wristband?
Does he really?
He still has it on his backpack.
So for anyone that doesn't know, at TI6,
yes,
we all did improvisation training and like teamwork and stuff like that.
And it really
everyone
worked.
that was there still remembers it.
And it worked, right?
It really worked.
Yeah.
That was a great panel. I've forgotten it all since then, but it was great at the time. For about 2 months afterwards, I was the most agreeable person. I was like, yes, and I was like, and now I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it.
Now he's back to the old bitter man that he was before.
But it's fine. All right. So LGD, they've just seen the series between Liquid and Mineski as well, right? That is the most fresh information you can get on Team Liquid. And I think we can all agree that it is Liquid that are the champions and they're basically untouchable. And LGD are coming up as a challenger. So
absolutely,
we're gonna have to bring some about ways for LGD to be able to breach the Liquid front, basically.
So the first thing they should take from the Mineski series is that you need to play fast.
Yes.
That is exactly what Newbie did to be able to beat Liquid. They drafted a combination of superior team fight in almost every single one of their openers, and they played really fast against Liquid, so that Liquid felt like they were constantly being forced into team fights, and when they tried to split push, they were always getting caught. Mineski tried to do a similar thing. It almost worked out for them, especially in that game 2. They definitely, I think they should have won that game. Mineski threw away multiple team fights that kind of lost them the game despite the advantages that they had. And I'm going to sort of contradict you, Ted, because I do think LGD has a chance, potentially a better chance than Mineski, because I do feel like they have extremely talented players. They have some of my personal favorite players in the Chinese scene, FY, Ame, and by far my favorite standout player, maybe. I've been long-time support, long-time fan of this guy. I think he is
FY is a god.
The next big thing.
He is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only joking. I like these guys a lot. I do like LGD. I think they are a great team, and they've played some great Dota in this tournament so far. And I'd love it if they, if they beat Liquid. That would be amazing for them. That'd be a great result. I know the fans would love it. Yep, clean that mouse, dirty boy.
He's got a South Park hoodie on.
That's how my white hoodie looks after I wash it.
I do not want to know what's on that mouse.
Well, Ted, a pro player's life.
It's a lonely one.
It's a lonely one. There's not a whole lot of time for female distractions.
I don't know.
Well, these guys are superstars, though, so I'm not so sure about that.
That's true. In China, if you guys don't know, if you guys haven't watched like any of the Chinese tournaments that features like crowd and fans and that sort of thing, but the Chinese, these guys are rock stars.
Yeah.
They are.
Basically.
Do you remember at TI7, the who was it who came in to cast? I think it was to cast the All-Star game. He came and sat down with the casters, and
I think it was it not either RTK or Ferrari? Something like that?
It was Ferrari, and he was wearing like a white shirt with a gold chain and everything.
Yeah.
And all the Chinese fans on that section of the crowd surged forward like their team had just scored a goal, and they all shrieked and they were all rushing forward to get autographs.
That part of the arena, like there was a smallish part of the arena, like less than a quarter, 1/8, was louder than the entire arena combined. That was crazy.
They're very passionate fans. So expect noise in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if LGD can take a game off of Liquid. That's the first step.
That's it. I mean, one step at a time.
I think what would be hype is if they took the first game. That would really open the series up.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Now we got to look back a little bit. I know that LGD has improved over the time, but we got to look back a little bit on last Thursday when Liquid was able to 2-0 LGD. There were two very different games that were played at that point, and I'm just gonna, in case you forgot, I'm just gonna
get the
recap.
stats up, Austin.
Sorry,
so the first game actually was a really good game by LGD. They started out so strong. They were fighting all the time. As you said, Cap, they had the tempo up real high, and it looked like they were doing everything they needed to take the game. There was one factor that they forgot, and that was Matumaman's Lone Druid, and not actually Lone Druid. It was the bear that they forgot. With the Aghanim Scepter, he was able to split push, and even though every time LGD was winning the fights, they were losing.
Look, it's easy to forget about the bear. All right, shout out to my boy Plague. All right, he plays the bear, man, to perfection.
Yeah.
And you get the Ags. We all go and do other stuff. Sometimes he's even with us, keeping us company. Other times, his strategy was that while we're fighting, he wouldn't tell us that he was split pushing because he was worried that we'd go and try and help him. So he would secretly split push and leave us to it and be like, oh my god, we're all getting slaughtered. And meanwhile, he's like, it's all right, guys, I took 2 lanes of racks. That's just bear stuff. That's just what the bear does.
But
do you think Matubman does that with Liquid?
He just doesn't tell him what he's doing?
He's like, don't look at bottom lane, guys.
You guys look busy. Stay busy.
I'm there. I swear I'm there. My bear. I just have to summon it. You know?
I'll be there in a bit. Just TPing in. He's just meanwhile he's eating buildings.
So that was game 1. The fighting itself was there though. So a different hero, different bands might have fixed that. But instead, LGD decided, well, that strategy didn't work. We're gonna do something different, and that's something that they did earlier today as well. Where they went a little bit more on the greedy side. All they needed to do, quote unquote, was survive the laning stage.
Yeah, we've said that a lot actually. That's been one of the things we've said quite often is just, have good lanes and stuff like that. I think the interesting thing is that when Liquid were looking a bit bit shaky in the early stages of, I think, the first game, where they were under a decent amount of pressure. They were having to rotate around and stuff like that. Miracle's Terrorblade really wasn't in a great position where he wanted to be, and a lot of movements and stuff. They like to do a lot of movement with Kuro and with GH, and then with Mind Control. They want to be able to dictate the pace. If they can't do that, they do look unsettled, and they know, that you need farm for Matu and for Miracle. So I think you're absolutely right. Get in their faces. Don't let them settle in the lanes. Even if you don't outright win the lanes and dominate them, as soon as you can, set about disrupting their playstyle, because they'll have timings just like every team. We talked about Complexity's timings for taking mid-tower and all the rest of it. Everybody's watched Liquid games. Everyone's watched their replays a million times, I guarantee it, and they're studying when their rotations are and when they make moves, so LGD absolutely need to disrupt that pattern.
They, in that second game, they did give up probably one of the most powerful weapons to Team Liquid, which is their Wisp Tiny strategy. I don't anticipate that to be given up again. I think they're just a little bit too good on it. It gives them too much of a laning phase advantage, and it gives them the other things that make Liquid truly great. A combination of team fight and split push. I think Liquid is probably one of the best teams at the world at being able to read movement. So when you can incorporate elements of split pushing into your team fight capabilities, that's when usually Liquid looks the best. What better than Tiny Wisp, where you can split push and still be in the team fight with a relocate. So I anticipate definitely going to be banning the Tiny. I do hope Liquid takes certain pages out of the newbie playbook and tries to draft themselves a lot of team fight. I really like the Naga Siren. We saw the success of that, though Disruptor may get banned. We're seeing more and more that Disruptor's being prioritized in the first 3.
Naga banned, Disruptor banned, Tiny banned. We saw obviously Mineski banning out in the first game even IO and Tiny, just in case, as a precaution. And I think based on that second game, Mineski was able to ban out, they still banned out the IO. They didn't need to ban out the Tiny because they had first pick, so they had the chance to pick it up. And I think that we're going to see first pick have a very big impact this game, because Team Liquid is a team that you preferably want to have 4 or 5 bans against. And if you have first pick, you can basically deny pick one of those if you want. We'll figure out who's going to be the first one to get first pick then.
Ted,
there you go.
I'm just going to say, I think we could see a Prophet in one of these games coming up, because I think he suits. I mean, Liquid like to play him, and they play him well, but I also think it kind of suits the nature of the way they play and the way that we're talking about getting into lanes and pushing together and stuff like that. He's a hero who can be Johnny on the spot in any lane, helping out, saving heroes, securing a kill. So I do think I'd like to see, since they've had the Syllabear banned out and the Chen, I wouldn't mind seeing a...
I agree with you. I think there were 2 teams who ran the Furion in this tournament. It was Kingwin. As well as Complexity. Complexity, even Swindles gave me the heads up that they were going to be picking Furion because of certain concepts that they thought would work better. The Furion being able to give you that kind of split pushing capabilities that a Tiny Wisp does while still being able to be there for the team fight is very helpful in this meta where team fight is all important, but split pushing forces you to be a part.
You got to push the lanes. You got to push the lanes, kids, and he does that.
Shove the lanes.
Yeah, well, Blitz says shove the lanes.
Yes.
I mean, you've got 2 ways. Your trees do it, your ult does it, and you can also right-click the creeps cap, and you kill them. You get gold for that, and it also pushes the lanes in.
And gold is good.
So no Chen, so we can't do a Chen Sang King opening. No Tiny, so no Wisp. There is many of the stronger 5-position, 4 positions left, like the Bane.
They can do Disruptor Sand King and copy Newbie, take a leaf out of Newbie's playbook. But they've gone for Razor instead. What a thrilling hero he is.
As long as you get really strong initiation, Razor's probably one of the best team fight heroes out there right now. And LGD opened with a very strong team fighter in Elder Titan. He's a little bit slower, a little bit more reactive than many of the other 4 positions.
We see some great Elder
Titan
performances in the tournament, actually. We have seen some good performances. He's a great hero. And there's a Disruptor.
Okay. So no Earth Spirit here for Team Liquid, instead valuing the Disruptor a bit more. There's still going to be plenty of 4 positions left in the pool. Night Stalker, Earth Spirit, Clockwork. A lot of them are still out there. So Liquid probably don't feel like they need to rush that pick as much.
Witch Doctor, another hero that's been a staple of Invitational.
Yeah. We've seen X-Nova be real good at that, assuming that FY will play the Elder Titan.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a little bit surprising to me. Last time that they were matched up against a Razor, they opted for Phantom Lancer Witch Doctor. Here they felt like the Witch Doctor was more of their priority against the Razor. I do anticipate Liquid is going to be banning PL.
Yeah. Well, they start with the Queen of Pain. You got to ban out some of Maybe's heroes. And the PL indeed.
Yeah. And they have banned Spirit.
It is actually a surprisingly good Clockwork game, at least the opening anyway. LGD have two very bad heroes to deal with Clockwork.
Yeah.
He's particularly disruptive with Elder Titan. So that's why I mentioned that hero earlier, despite him as a 4 position not really being very favorable so far in this tournament. I think Night Stalker's Vision game would be a little bit too good against LGD, and they're kind of slow setup right now between Witch Doctor and ET. So I would like LGD to ban that hero.
We'll see if they will. They have got quite a bit of team fight right now, both sides actually. What I like about LGD's lineup is that they have a bit of extra siege there with the Witch Doctor, with the Voodoo Restoration. It's a tiny thing, but it can really help if you want to try and take down some early towers, which we said is going to be very important for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Another big thing is that there is a lot of the offlaners that are very powerful still left in the pool.
Yeah.
Omni Knight and Tide Hunter are two of the biggest ones. But the best thing about Liquid's opening is that it really inhibits those picks a lot. You don't want to run Omni into Razor. You don't want to run Tide into Razor either when it comes to the laning phase. So that's why Razor is such a value opener, because it really decides, like, your bans can be a lot different. You hold all the keys to the offlaners, and LGD are probably looking at it right now and going, like, we're going to give up something incredibly good to Liquid, and we can't pick it ourselves.
I like that, Cap. That's smart.
Look at LGD thinking about this last ban.
The
end of the banning the Pugna. Now, we saw Pugna earlier today, and it was a strong one. It was another green hero for Matuma Man, I believe.
Yeah, we've seen him play Pugna a little bit recently. He obviously likes a hero. I think a Pugna Disruptor would be pretty mean. You get stuck in the circle and have the life sucked out of you. Pretty unpleasant. Also, Razor and Pugna, one sucking your damage, one sucking your life. Who next? Get Lion in there, he's sucking your mana. Be pretty appalling. Disgusting as well. Absolutely disgusting.
And that reminds me, we have not seen a Lion yet this tournament.
Yeah, despite his small buff.
His minor buff, although I still haven't seen it because we've been away, otherwise I would be playing.
Yeah.
LGD, I think a good offlaner that's still left in the pool for them would be the Brewmaster.
Yeah, he's been a good hero for this tournament, I think. Very popular.
It's like, it's okay during the laning phase because you can make him miss. And then on top of that, your ultimate, you can kind of just clear Razor out. It also, you're probably going to save it for 4th pick just to see if Liquid pick up the Omni Knight, because then that makes your Brewmaster look even better.
Well, no, I
was going to call it the Enchantress. The only reason I could see Pugna being a ban is if they plan on running Enchantress, because Enchantress is hard countered by Pugna.
So this is an Enchantress offlane?
Yes.
For the Chinese scene?
Yep.
Which is not very common at all.
No, and it's not really in Chalice's hero pool for what we've seen him running in LGD.
Yes,
but it is the exact kind of hero that we would have seen him running before LGD.
Okay.
Where he was running very aggressive offlaners that want to be able to win their lanes like Batrider.
Well,
Night Stalker does give a very large vision advantage, though, to Liquid. Combined with the Disruptor, it's a cute little combination where the enemy team is kind of blind and you've got superior vision to be able to get good glimpses.
You know what makes me laugh is in the drafts often you'll see Miracle's face. His natural look is like concerned and anxious. Look at him, he looks worried. He's like, Kura, what are we going to do? I picked Enchantress and Witch Doctor and Elder Titan. And Kura's like, don't worry, my lad, it'll be fine. I'll pick you a baller hero to win with.
There are a lot of counters for the Enchantress still left in the pool, but honestly I think they're okay with just Razor. Matching into the Enchantress, relatively self-sufficient hero, though it's probably going to be pressured. So maybe it's going to be an Enchantress Elder Titan duo.
Okay. That means
actually, maybe it's an off-lane Elder Titan and a support Enchantress.
I mean, we've seen it in the past, but that was a long time ago. Well, no bonus time left anymore for Team Liquid as they pick up the Dragon Knight.
DK.
Now, they took a very long time to think about this. A sturdy hero, difficult to gank.
Sturdy indeed.
Easier to take towers.
Oh, lordy.
But this is looking like a very scary push line
I like
for
LGD's
LGD.
draft a lot here. However, with if they can get a decent lead, Disruptor, obviously the glimpse on Lycan is decent. Razor, DK, very hard to kill. Nightstalker, good vision, good ganking. Maybe people would get the jump on them. They can get the jump on Lycan with the Nightstalker, but it's going to be tough.
So you've got a decent amount of team fight and a good amount of split push for LGD, especially with the Enchantress and Lycan. They could double down on that and pick up the Tinker and try and play really protective around their towers. Or they can play a little bit more team fight in like the 5-manning aspect and pick up like a Dusa to guarantee the better late game.
I think that the issue is that we saw with the Lycan, taking the buildings is great, but eventually you are going to need to have a big old fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think someone like, I mean, it's...
Maybe the SF.
Something like that, yeah. I mean,
Would
at the moment,
really
Enchantress, Lycan, both kind of single target. Obviously, Witch Doctor and Elder Titan give them that sort of AoE and that team fight, but something like an SF would be able to just do that area damage that they might need to turn a fight. But these are some hefty boys that they're up against.
So this probably leads the
Bingo.
Tidehunter as... Tidehunter, maybe Enigma, is actually pretty good here for Liquid.
The lockdown is something they need. Give them some extra push as well with the Eidolons.
The last core from Liquid.
I can't think of too many other offlaners I really like right now. Oh,
Storm Spirit.
Well, it will be a Storm
aggro
Spirit.
try.
Okay. There's your catch.
There is not a lot of lockdown on LGD. This could be problematic.
Yeah, this is the mind control Razor that we saw from them earlier, and then Matumba Man is going to be playing the Dragon Knight. So they're going to sacrifice Matumba Man possibly in the safe lane against the Enchantress ET, run aggro with the Razor with mind control, back him up, and then that'll help secure the Storm Spirit if they can keep those supports locked down into that bottom lane against the Lycan, right? Because you don't want to leave the Lycan entirely alone. He can't be.
And a lot of their team is depending on that Lycan getting big enough that he can then fight and go take buildings. Absolutely, aggro try, shut him down, give Storm the lane he needs.
Lycan for LGD has to be strong. And for Liquid, we're looking to have that Storm have a good game.
Get Storm huge, ball on them, own them.
Big Storm, big Lycan. Let's see which one's going to be. It is grand finals time for real now because it is time for game 1 to kick off with your favorite commentary team of ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Shiva. And here we have it indeed, the grand finals, and what a matchup indeed. LGD versus Team Liquid.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty darn exciting. And already with these opening drafts, there's a lot of push going on. There's Lycans, there's DKs being thrown into the mix. A little bit of a curveball being thrown by Liquid though with that final pickup, getting the Storm Spirit and shifting around maybe what LGD were expecting from Liquid's lineup from the first 4 picks.
Yeah, looks like Liquid really wanted to go for that kind of tri-core so they can scale into the late game. And the last 2 picks from both teams, we've got signature heroes. Hey, Ted. What are you doing over there, man? How's it going, man?
Go and have your tea, Ted.
He's grumpy. He's still grumpy. You can tell.
He's coping.
All right, so this should be pretty cool. The Lycan pick definitely was a bit unexpected, it seemed. I don't know if Liquid thought that one was coming because of the way that they banned out when they had the Nightstalker picked up. All right. Can this offlane Enchantress do it? We've seen it. I think we only saw Enchantress offlane once this tournament, and it was Ghostic.
And then it was banned pretty much every, I think.
Yeah, and it was banned majority. Ghostic won that game.
It was when Empire played against LGD, right? Was it LGD or was it Newbie? One of the teams.
One of the two.
When they ran this, it was Empire, wasn't it? They ran like the Tinker Enchantress bounty. And then I think it was Newbie. It was Newbie, right? It was Newbie. And then Newbie like banned out this Enchantress in the first phase every other game. So, it's a hero that we're definitely seeing teams respect the power of.
Yeah, you can poke having these like ranged carry heroes or ranged heroes that can scale versus Razor is always nice because you avoid the link a bit. You can deal damage from a distance and you pierce through that BKB. Looking at the players, looks like some slight pause, some little thing going wrong with them.
Just getting
Matu having some trouble.
Technical hiccups out the way at the start of the game so that we can have a nice smooth one.
So we did see, and Matu was wearing his shorts, right? Matu's wearing the lucky shorts this time around.
He's got his lucky shorts on. He does indeed have them.
He's here to play. So we've got, like we were saying, the signature heroes on the last two, the Miracle Storm Spirit, and then the maybe Shadow Fiend. It's going to be pretty exciting. I like having, I like the Shadow Fiend paired up with Elder Titan a lot. Big fan of when you have that mixed magic and physical between, because Elder Titan sometimes it can be a bit hard to get in the face and apply your physical aura. You can always throw your spirit for that magical aura debuff, which can make SF quite potent.
I think definitely the biggest issue for LGD, as the panel did talk about, is that it's always going to be the lack of lockdown for this Storm. It's like, where does that sort of come into play? Sure, the Elder Titan probably going to look to try and get at least like a Rod of Atos somewhere early on in the build, but that's not going to come anywhere near before, for instance, the level 6 is there on the Storm, and Miracle has that maneuverability.
Yeah.
So definitely the potential for this game to be one of those Storm performances. But at the same time, who cares if you can't catch the Storm if you're able to shove down lanes and put the pressure on high. You've got that Lycan, you've got that SF, you've got this sort of high-octane mid-game push and fight. You've got the sustain, you have the heal from the Enchantress and the Witch Doctor. So LGD do have a very clear game plan in that sense, and maybe to the point where they don't care if they can't lock down the Storm, because the Storm isn't going to be able to get to the point where he is a threat. Exactly.
I think they're really looking for that timing, tempo kind of lineup. They want to get the BKB Shadow Fiend, book 3, take a Roche, end the game. They don't want this go to the late stages versus the Storm Spirit unless they have a huge advantage. That's the only way they really can do it, is to deal with that Storm is going to be through itemization, through having that gold advantage. And I'm really curious if Liquid's actually going to go for something like that aggro. We've seen a lot of teams talk about pressuring that Lycan early on, don't let him get online, and then that really messes with the game plan. That could be something they're looking to do with the Night Stalker and with the Razor.
Yeah, absolutely. I would not be surprised at all if they try and ensure that they do get that mind control Razor against the Arme Lycan.
Did we see who was playing? Did we see who was playing each one?
I think it did have mind control.
It was mind control on the Razor and his
Matu DK.
Okay.
And of course, Miracle Storm Spirit for Liquid.
I was just curious because we have seen, of course, mind control play the Dragon Knight in that offlane position. So I was just curious if that was going to be the approach. But I would like the Razor.
I think they picked it up with it. You never know; they might have swapped it around. So we'll have to see when we're able to get ourselves back into the game. But it looks like at the moment we're just getting some issues fixed on Matu's PC. Good old Vlad's over there sorting things out. As we're looking any closer to the end go, looks like the nod's being given. The headphones are going on for Kuro.
It's all about Matu, though. Let's see if his,
there we go. He's
his
back
settings
on.
are good.
And looks like the guys are ready to continue.
All right.
I believe the G has been called in the chat, as we should be able to get this one going on. As you can see, a lot of LGD fans, of course, here ready to root on FY and the boys. But we'll see what goes on as the game now does begin. And actually, no. To confirm, it was the other way around. Sorry.
It is the other way, right? It is mind control playing the DK. That's what I thought that they were going to do, because just the way they're still gonna go for the aggro, but they're gonna put him in a 1v1 bottom, which is the sacrifice lane. They're gonna sacrifice him versus that Enchantress a bit and pressure the Lycan as a trade-off, which I do think is the right approach, because I think LGD's lineup really is all about that Lycan, getting that timing. Sure, Shadow Fiend can have a pretty decent time, and it's maybe Shadow Fiend. He could go out of control, but they want to get that Roche. They want to end the game.
Let's see what they can set up here from the smoke. They're in a good position, Liquid.
They're trying to get somebody on the rotation when they go back toward the safe lane. They might be able to actually get FY if they're patient, but the bounty runes are going to start spawning. They're going to head their way over there to claim themselves those two. Miracle throwing some taunts. That Storm Spirit taunt. Adorable.
And looks like LGD unlikely to walk into this one. Arme and X-Nova keeping themselves back in the lane, not going anywhere near that bounty rune spot. So Liquid will be able to claim that at the top.
Is he gonna? Oh, he doesn't level stun, but he's gonna be able to. Mind control actually snags it.
Yeah.
So Liquid will get 3
clicks. Yeah.
They will get 3 bounties.
And of course, getting the double bounties on Miracle in particular.
Yeah. And the pressure lane. So maybe GH starts mid just to match. He's probably just gonna follow the Elder Titan, to be honest. And yeah, like we said, it's gonna be just a sacrifice lane for mind control. He should be able to, as long as he's pulling the creeps under his tower, he should be able to get a good amount of farm here until the Enchantress gets a couple levels, get some creeps, of course. Here we go, Grand Finals.
Now FY getting that damage build up with the Spirit passing over both the heroes, coming in with a few punches onto Miracle and GH. Just trying to do his best to secure these, the very important first few waves for the SF, making sure that Somnus gets those Necro stacks up. Top lane, a bit of a go being made onto Xnova. Matuma getting a good static link off and is able to trade a good amount of damage onto Arme.
Full link, pretty much. It's that 52 bonus. So they'll have that to guarantee them lane. And now this is where Liquid's going to take a bit of advantage here because LGD, they really want to help that Lycan. It's the core of their strategy. They have to bring the tri-lane up there to not allow this to be put to punish them. Kuro might actually get caught off guard by this. He could get brought down by the bonus damage from FY.
He drops the field. That will hold FY back for now. So FY unable to get the final couple of touches needed onto the Disruptor. So Kuro will be safe. There's his attention towards Matuma Man, but as you say, LGD just making the adaptation to the lineup and the lanes that Liquid are showing. It's going to mean that Somnus could struggle a little bit here at the start, and we are seeing that, of course, still. He can't quite get those first few stacks up. 0 and 1 against the 7 for 2. It's not going to be the dream opening at all for this SF, as CS proving to be difficult against Miracle.
And they're wrapping on him already with this double wave.
See what they can do here. There are TP reactions.
Miracle?
Miracle actually nearly dying to the tower. My goodness, the Astral, it nearly kills him. At the least, it cancels the salve.
Oh, man.
He's out of reach. He's only got a Tango that's on a cooldown for 30 seconds. So that TP from FY putting a full stop to Miracle's attempt to get anything done in this mid lane, and that will give the chance for Somnus to get those Necromastery stacks up. That is...
He's got to heal. Yeah, he has to go back.
That is perfect for LGD.
The double raise there by maybe just dissuaded the Storm Spirit for going for the dive, and yeah, like you said, canceling that salve, super important.
And a real big play there from FY that we say is going to make sure that maybe he's very happy on this SF now, as he surely will be able to get that right click built up to the stage. When Miracle returns to the lane, he is not going to have nearly as nice of a time that he was hoping to from the start of this. As there's now this level 3 SF. He's got the edge in XP, and he has closed that gap in CS.
Miracle, or GH there was making sure that the creep wave was kept together, though, so he will get all those last hits under the tower.
Top lane. Look at this, LGD coming in with the stomp. FY setting up action and setting up first blood. Xnova to take it there as they bring down Kuroki. He's still going to come across and trade some hits with GH. GH will go for the bit of a chase down onto FY, but FY, he should be fine. Throws out the Spirit, ready to pick up some damage if he wanted to turn and trade, but GH already backing off, and in fact, Xnova's there. So FY and GH going to give him the chase down. Maledict's on him. FY can get a fair few punches with the cask.
He's going to get him.
Sleep. Yeah, that should be enough damage to pop him with the Maledict, and LGD, second kill as FY making some big moves around the map.
Very nicely done. The two supports definitely doing that, but we do see the Lycan is getting very impacted by this aggressive lane that's coming out from Liquid. He's only at 6 last hits, and all 3 cores actually on the side of Liquid dominating the laning phase at the moment. Mind control farming perfectly fine. Not really caring too much about these little pokes by the Enchantress with 2 points in the Dragon's Blood.
I mean, and as you said, so sort of off the back of the draft, this is almost what Liquid had to achieve in the laning stage. They picked these cores that were going to have a good shot in each of the lanes, and as you said, they are pulling it off in the farm department. Miracle, though, mid, falling very low once again, does have a salve prepared to top himself back up, and CS, as you mentioned, in this matchup, still looking good. 20 for 2 against the 12 for 5.
Miracle's been loving the mangoes lately, buying 2 just to have that extra bonus regen.
To get that buff.
Uh-oh, Kuro again.
Going to be able to try and look for this Disruptor. Kinetic Field drop down to hold them back. FY going for the Stomp to make sure that Matuma Man isn't able to do too much with the static thing stolen damage, but Matuma Man with the movement speed actually able to keep closing the gap onto FY, looking for that Elder Titan kill, and he's going to find it. Matu going in deep with GH, takes down FY, and gets Liquid their first kill on the board.
Getting aggressive as soon as it starts turning to nighttime, so they get that bonus slow from the Void. And ooh, raised by maybe.
Classic Miracle here, really just playing on the very edge of the hero.
He's got to be careful.
It looks risky, but this guy knows what he's doing. He will have to make the trip back to base, though, as the bottle charges have been consumed. But overall, I mean, that CS difference being shown in the net worth, it's early days, 5 minutes in, but there is that 1k lead because of the fact that all 3 cores are having just that slightly better time than those on the side of LGD.
This bottom one is the biggest one for me. He is doubling up on top of the Enchantress just from that HP regen. He just doesn't seem to care. Look, the harassment, it tickles. Even with the Orb of Venom, he's only taking like 20 damage per hit.
And once the level 6 is there for Chalice, maybe things get a little better for the Enchantress, but still, it's with the amount of regen the Mind Control has, he can still survive through it all.
So I was thinking the Enchantress would actually be able to grab creeps, but as you can see, there is that ward that is blocking that camp to the left of the Dragon Knight. So there actually is no hard camp for him to be taking the creeps from, which would allow him to dominate the lane but that because of this, it's literally all mind control. That is a really smart approach to this by Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid certainly coming into this laning stage with strong plans and effective ones, as it were.
Yep. Get Miracle level 6 so he can be safer, farm him up the jungle. Then he can give space to his supports to get some levels because Kuro was top, he was suffering a bit, just getting anything without dying. So level 6 now on Enchantress, he can start to bully mind control.
Yeah. Oh, we're seeing there as well, yeah. 187 pure. Straight down upon him. Mind control is prepared with the salve.
Yep. Let's see if they make the rotation. We've seen a lot of times the 5-minute mark comes, the Enchantress, they go make a move to the Enchantress lane because you can take the enemy catapult and then pressure based off that to try to get the tower.
Mind control is actually going to be the one to move as he heads towards mid with the TP, pops a mango, so he's ready to fight. Elder Dragon form at the ready with GH leading the charge. They're going to look for a potential wraparound onto maybe's SF.
This is going to catch them off guard. They're going to try to go for a dive for Kuro, but they're going to get sandwiched on.
They absolutely are. FY's already popped the Stomp and the Spirit, so Somnus, not a lot that can be done to help him. He's surrounded by Liquid. Nova's there, throws out the paralyzing cast, but maybe on the SF's already down. Miracle on the high ground with that level 6, ready to chase for more. He's got his eyes on FY. Perfect use of the Remnants there to maximize the damage to bring down the Elder Titan.
And now they should be able to get maybe some damage on the tower here with the DK ulti. But that's all 5 heroes from Liquid being committed. We've seen this from them quite often at the 6-minute mark. They like to just surround that tier 1 tower and try to get a good advantage based off of that. But we do see Razor start to make his way back top. Still wants to continue to shut down that Lycan.
See what LGD can do to clear this out.
We'll try to delay it a bit with the Spirit and Stomps. So minimal tower damage being done by Liquid, and they will retreat back to their lanes.
Miracle down bottom, taking quite a bit of punch here from Chalice.
Enchantress, as soon as she hits 6, a very terrifying lane for any of the cores of Liquid.
Still though, Liquid maintaining that lead that they're able to pick up.
Oh, GH.
Favorable lane matchups.
Spots the courier, so he knows where Ame's position. He's going to go for it, but the shield comes out.
Ame, not quite level 6, so can't really look to fight into GH. At the same time, FY sets it up onto mind control, taking down the DK, and they're trying to look for more. FY picks up an Invis rune. Miracle, he's out of mana. Not really too much that FY can do on his own, though, even though there is no mana on this Storm Spirit. So Miracle will be able to get himself back to safety. Still getting these kills, LGD. Making sure that they're not getting bullied too much by Liquid's slight but early advantage.
Yeah, they're starting to get some good tower damage on that mid lane. You do see the ping come out. Mind control wants himself or somebody to go bottom so they don't get that tower pressured by the Enchantress.
Elder Dragon form back online for mind control.
Yep.
They want to try and utilize it top, get some pressure up there. As you say, they realize that LGD are sending the majority of their numbers towards that mid lane. Elder Dragon form pop. Fortifications there from LGD, but Liquid standing their ground with his push. Kuro's down bottom, trying to work his way towards that level 6 on the Disruptor. Halfway through 4 at the moment. And here's the smoke from LGD. They want to react to this push being committed upon by Liquid up top.
They want a bigger target. They don't want GH here. Look at this sneak around.
This is smart as well. They reveal Arme, so this is sort of going to entice Liquid to stick around. They aren't going to expect this 3-man wraparound from behind. I'll tell you what, and this, if they could get a good initiation, it could do something big here. F5 Smoke's going to be popped.
They know now.
Going to be separated from Mind Control, who's up on his own with the Maledict, good bounces and the raises. This man surely will pop as Mind Control will fall. LGD get the kill, but Liquid did get the tower.
That was so nicely played the way they did that. It's like the perfect wraparound. They saw the Night Stalker, but they want the bigger priority targets. However, Liquid does get themselves a tower, and during all that as well, Disruptor was claiming experience bottom, so almost level 6 on Kuro at a pretty early mark, while LGD supports are a little bit more underleveled. Kuro sends him away. Doesn't want to get punished by the Enchantress, and gets up some deeper wards. So it does look like the bottom tower will more than likely be that next objective for Liquid to claim with the next Dragon form.
And we're seeing some really good farm on Matuma Man. 4.5k.
Yeah.
He's a clear 1k ahead of any of the other cores on LGD.
He's pretty much got that drum finished up at base.
So hitting those crucial key early items that Liquid want to run with to be able to hold back the pressure that LGD are going to look to push on. And top lane, LGD having a bit of a look towards GH there. Arme does have the shapeshift ready
and
to
Dominator.
rock 'em out.
gets a decent timing on the Dominator after being pressured in the lane. Liquid probably, maybe want to wait about a minute for that nighttime before they want to press an advantage and use the next Dragon Form, unless he's forced to use it defensively.
It's not necessarily an easy kill, though. He does have 3 points in the armor, and a bit of an awkward move, unless they can get some insane body blocking off onto Mind Control. I don't know if they necessarily get this one. They are going to have to dive for it. The Breathe Fire damage reduction will put LGD off there, and that, I don't think that was ever really going to be a kill onto the DK.
No, it would have been a really hard one. They had to kind of like trap him in a corner for them to get that kill. Drum's also being picked up on maybe, so he wants to be that early game presence for his team since he knows the Lycan is getting shut down a bit. And that is the first shapeshift used. LGD not able to claim anything off of it. So Liquid, in that 40 seconds when nighttime kicks in, they will have a big surge of momentum for themselves.
FY throwing the Spirit out now, aware of the presence of Matumaman and GH, along with Kuroki on this bottom lane. Chalice still playing pretty confidently, getting those impetuses out onto Matumba. See if Kuro can find something setup. He does have that 6 now. He's got the Static Storm. Yeah,
double Drums being the choice for LGD. The Enchantress as well as the Shadow Fiend. Just some early stats.
And all in all, despite that earlier lead that Liquid did have, LGD keeping very much up with the pace. Only 1K in it at the moment, 12 minutes in. The SF, maybe, still looking to stand in a very good place. He's only a few hundred behind Miracle Storm Spirit. Miracle does have that Kaya complete, though, on top of the tread. So these sort of the crucial early game items that allow the Storm to get involved in these fights. Bottom lane Matumba does open up on towards Chalice, but TPs are coming in and there's no intention to dive this tower with the heals that Chalice has.
FY in position for a stomp here.
They set up onto Matumba. They have got backup coming in. LGD Matumba going straight for the TP out, but he's not going to make it. The cast comes through for Next Nova. And Matumba, man, he's bringing FY down. I mean, FY, he is going to go down with him. But LGD do get the bigger kill. They are able to claim Matumba man's life. And a nice bit of money going towards Chalice on the Enchantress.
Yeah, good heavy 3-man rotation, but the trade, Matu's probably like, oh, okay. Whatever, I'm dead, but they brought 3 heroes. My Storm Spirit's very farmed. Miracle top of the net worth as a Storm in any game is always the dream. Arcane and Kaya ready to go.
You got to watch out for what he's able to do in these early fights with those sort of tools. And Arme, this time with the Shapeshift, will find a kill. Kuro tries holding back with the Shapeshift, but he continues to chase it up. And indeed, GH just getting eyed up by maybe an FY as they beat down upon him. And with 2 heroes off the map, LGD starting to get heavy on the push again in the middle lane. As maybe and Chalice lead to the front, and they've got the backup of the rest of the 3. The full 5-man push from LGD on this tier 1 tower mid. But it looks like TPs are coming in. Liquid want to try and hold.
Yeah, they know Disruptor ulti was used, so they're trying to take advantage and claim a tower advantage here.
Let's see what they can do to stop him. Maledict's onto GH. With the impetus, GH is going to follow. Miracle starting to dance around with that Arcane Rune of the Kaya as we talked about. He's able to zip in, take down the Lycan. He's looking to play around with more, bottling himself up with the Mango. He's back up to full. He zips in onto Chalice, but Chalice, with the TP able to get out just in time. They didn't have any way to hold him down. But Liquid do keep the tier 1 alive, and they do claim that Arme kill there.
They're looking to stay aggressive too.
Yeah, start the push themselves with the Elder Dragon form still ready to roll. Miracle zipping in, getting the gap closed onto FY. They pick up another, and we really are seeing how much can be done. This Kaya and
Arcane Kaya is doing so much work.
It is the dream for a Storm Spirit. 14 minutes in. He just had mana for days there, Miracle.
Yep. Now they should be able to turn this one into a tower push for Liquid with that Dragon form being expended.
And LGD will have to let this one go for sure.
Yeah, they have Disruptor ulti as well, so LGD doesn't want to like TP 1 by 1. Versus Disruptor, you want to be able to you want to all be positioned if you're going to try to go for those defense of tower, because otherwise, yeah, you just get glimpsed. One of the people either fight a 4v5 or you do these like poke engagements, and then one of your other people die anyway from getting glimpsed.
On top, Liquid with the smoke, seeing if they can catch out Arme. Scan to be dropped by Liquid, just seeing if anyone from LGD was having eyes on them. That's not going to be the case.
Arme's trying to scout with the wolves, but yeah, the smoke.
He's got to be careful. Kuro's coming in for the grab, has the glimpse back straight away into the Static Storm. They've trapped the wolf in the kinetic field, beat down upon him, and Arme is down.
And that's a defensive shapeshift, and he still dies.
And making some big movements now across the map, getting these key kills, keeping the cause of LGD behind.
It almost looked like Arme, he knew it was coming too, because he had his wolves positioned, but he's like, no one's here. But still, Liquid with a very quick movement catches LGD a bit off guard.
Now the Shadow Blade on the GK now as well.
Shadow Blade already, 15 minutes. Damn, mind control.
See what maybe an FY can find here. They may at the least get GH, but it is nighttime. He's pretty speedy. They've got the drums and the Yasha movement speed of maybe enabling him to close the gap. He's actually going to miss the first raise. And it looks like it doesn't matter anyway, as they just didn't have the control or damage to take down GH.
Yeah. Oh, and that was literally at the last bit. He does have darkness, though, to be fair. So if it was in the daytime, he would have been able to pop that and disengage. Very hard to land stomps at Night Stalker at night until you get, like, you know, your movement speed talent, maybe a Spirit Vessel or Windlace, some movement speed items on that other Titan. It is a bit challenging. Mind control. Giving information with the Shadow Blade.
Got his eyes on Chalice. He does have Kuro nearby. No Static Storm quite yet.
Uh-oh.
On Chalice, he's going for it here, but Liquid are reacting. At the same time, Miracle's actually been able to pick off maybe with the use of the double damage rune and Liquid. They'll turn around, hold them back up top with the stun from the DK. Kuro's falling low. He drops the Static Storm to try and put a stop to the impetuses, but Chalice moves himself around it, gets the kill. The Ursula flies on Mind Control, but they don't indeed. FY and Chalice cannot see him, and Mind Control, he's ready to turn with GH. FY goes for the TP out. He'll make it. Chalice as well making the attempt. Is the passage strong enough to keep him alive? It is! The attack speed reduction from Untouchable, letting Chalice get out of there. But still, LGD losing maybe solo to Miracle down bottom again. Miracle in his runes. This time around, it was the double damage that enabled him to take down the SF on his own.
This is going to be a very terrifying Storm Spirit. Like we said, very little lockdown for him, and it's 17 minutes. This guy's on his way toward his Orchid as well on top of that Kaya. He's just going to get out as soon as he sees more heroes bottom.
And the question is, as we said, you know, with LGD's lineup, they can sort of get the pace going. They can push pretty strong and pretty quickly. 17.5 minutes in, this Lycan lineup has only been able to take one tier 1 tower.
This is not where they want to be. But the most important thing for their lineup is getting that Roshan. Getting the books out, getting that BKB pretty early on SF, get that Rosh. And then they can go for those sieges. But yeah, being 4K behind is not where they want to be right now with their lineup.
Let's see what they can do here. They need something big, LGD. They have to swing around this lead somehow. They look for the Stomp set up onto Matuma, but they're not going to find it. The cast will still connect. They're moving with the Maledict. The bounces are good. They drop the Death Ward. No messing around. Matuma will pop. But Miracle zips straight into the backlines with the Remnant. Takes down one. Looking towards FY, but he's out of mana. Miracle's gone a little bit too deep, so LGD, they can turn. They take down Miracle, and they're going to look to see if they can chase down for more. Kuro, they've been spotted out. They've got the vision from the neutral creep from that Shadow Tormentor. Mind Control with the Shadow Blade does find the pick off onto FY on the backlines, but Kuro, he's being chased down. LGD, they're taken down a third. They surround Mind Controller with the raises from maybe. They bring down a fourth. LGD fighting back hard off the back of what could only be described as Miracle getting a little too ahead of himself, zipping into the backlines, consuming his entire mana pool, just set him up to go down in a very awkward position, and LGD instantly capitalizing on that and getting a massive team fight win. 4 heroes killed, a tier 1 tower taken, and here's the Roche potential you're talking about, folks. Straight into the pit, and I think they're going to get this without any sort of trouble from Liquid.
The dream for LGD right there.
Absolutely.
Matu is coming in here. The rest of his team is coming in for backup, but does have to be a bit careful here.
It's too late. Maybe he's got it. They've got that Aegis. LGD putting the game back on at a bit of an equal balance with that play. Sure, Miracle's still at the top in net worth, but maybe an Arme very close behind him now off the back of those plays.
Yeah, they've gotten a big surge of momentum there. That mana burn, the extra mana burn from the Necrobook is nothing to forget about when you are playing Storm Spirit.
Completed S&Y finished on maybe as well, so much tankier on this SF. Miracle does have that Orchid now, though. Didn't have that in the last fight. And
Chalice looks to be the target.
Absolutely. He's come into the jungle all on his own, and the entirety of Liquid's there with the wraparound. Miracle doesn't even need the backup. He is able to claim the kill on his own with that Orchid.
They're trying to get a surprise here. LGD might not expect for them to get so aggressive as soon as they take a Roche, but Liquid really wanted to just make that Aegis for naught.
Yeah, it's hard to do so as well. Tier 2 tower is still here, of course, so Liquid can't really wrap around straight away into the jungle of LGD. So Arme feeling very safe with the space that he has up top.
I mean, it's a pretty spectacular timing on the Lycan, right? He got pressured by a dual lane quite heavily in the laning phase, and he's got Book 3, he's got Dominator. It's 20 minutes in.
Liquid Able to claim another tower with the use of the Elder Dragon form from Mind Control. Tier 1 down on the bottom lane. Same time though, LGD looking for the trade up top with that Lycan and his army push.
They want 2 towers here. GH scouting in the back lines, looking for any opportunity to find somebody. But no one is positioned just yet. He might just wait here and hope for some TPs coming out. They do have very deep aggressive wards in that mid lane, so they can't see if the rotations come in. Chalice.
Yeah, and the LGD, they're just going to continue looking for the trade. They're not backing up yet. They just want to take a tier 2 themselves.
They know he's there. The glimpse could come out. It's kind of deep, though.
A bit of an awkward place for them to follow up on the glimpse. And Matuma actually already going to start TPing back here for the defense, because LGD, after taking the tier 2, they continue to push up. They're now hammering on to the tier 3s 21 minutes in. Fortification comes out from Liquid.
GH
LGD
trying to get vision for another glimpse here.
Let's see what he can do. He leads in. Can they find the setup that they require this time? Maybe revving up the Requiem will come out, connect onto 2. The damage reduction going to do the thing for the Static Stone. Traps the Lycan. It doesn't matter. The army's already out. Takes down Matuma. Maybe he's looking towards Mind Control. They've got the vision. They've got the Purge Slow from the Necro Books. They take down the DK as well. And with 2 cores out, LGD, they're straight onto the tier 3s. Mind Control buys back immediately. But the tier 3 tower, it's already gone. The push from LGD too strong. And some smart decisions being made there. Let's see what Liquid can do to punish. They do get the glimpse back onto the Lycan, maybe questioning if you can get back in to help him out. FY with the Earth Splitter onto Mind Control, the Stomp as well, but Miracle's on the sidelines. Does manage to bring down Arme and his Lycan. GH still in the midst of it all, pushing back FY, maybe Annex Nova. Liquid, they want to try and poke, they want to try and make them pay. Another glimpse from Kuro, it's a big one. SF maybe dragged straight back into the hands, but he has the Aegis.
Oh no, LGD.
Can they do it a second time? That's the question here. In the sidelines, FY still playing around with the Night Stalker, has the Storm. And look at this, LGD, they may even turn to get some kills. They're looking towards Mind Control. There's a Maledict upon him. Maybe can he get it? He can with the raise. Finds the kill, will still fall. So Liquid are able to get kills, but still, this is a big play for LGD, opening up the base at the top lane, taking that tier 3, getting multiple kills onto the cores of Liquid and FY. He will get himself out of there just in time, as this Night Stalker came sweeping across. But 16-16, it's panning out to be the close game we would hope to see as game 1 of the finals.
Yeah, definitely. LGD trying to capitalize on that timing that we were talking about. That Aegis, that book 3, they get themselves some big kills. Mind Control was forced to buy back. He died back, but for the cause. He gets his team a bunch of kills, and now you see Miracles getting closer and closer to that Bloodstone. This is the threat of that Disruptor that we've always been talking about. It's, you may get this tower, but getting that disengage is very, very tough. You get caught out, and that's what the Night Stalker provides for you, giving that vision so that Kuroki can get those clutch glimpses out on those crucial targets of LGD. LGD, though, that was a great positioning that they got there. They got the 2 top towers, got the tier 3-2. Now they have shrines available to siege.
Smith, they're going to make a go on to GH. Does have the movement speed of the night time, but already the wolves come in. Arme looking to chase this one down. GH will fly himself across the tree line, but Arme is there with a wraparound. Wolf versus Night Stalker here. Glimpse from Kuro. Bam! The wolf's out. GH will be safe for now. Will he? No challenge. Is able to get the slow off. The Necro Books are there with the Purge, slowing him down, and they may get more Mind Control now in trouble as he's held in place. The kinetic field not going to be enough to hold back LGD as Mind Control. He will fall as well. The Astral staying on him from FY, giving the vision that Chalice needed to make the connections. And LGD...
Chalice is doing an incredible amount of damage in these fights with those impetus.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing why a lot of teams were banning out the Ench in the early stages of many drafts, as this hero proving to be incredibly powerful in the right hands against these heroes as well, like the DK. Normally, you don't expect to see a Dragon Knight receive this much of physical pure abuse as it is in this stage because of that armor and the regen, but with the impetus, you don't care about that at all, and it just chunks through him.
And just the slight slows that they have, right? The Purge from the Necro Book there, just not allowing the DK to run away, and then a couple situations, or earlier at least, the Necro Book giving the vision for when that DK was Shadow Bladed, gets caught out. Miracle committing in.
He is, but there's a lot of heroes here. Miracle has to be a little careful, but well, I say that, I guess he feels strong because of the lack of disable. He is able to get in, get the kill, backing away, still has a fair bit of mana to play with, so should be fine off the back of that. And now, the rest of Liquid, they're actually looking to come in. Kuro heading forward with Matuma. Drops a Static Storm, but I don't know if Kuro and Matuma wanted to be there. Kuro gets bullied out of this. Miracle does still have the DD rune to play with. Self-fuels from FY, buying himself some time. But Liquid, they want to go hand with the Storm Spirit. Miracle takes down FY. Matuma chasing down Chalice. Zip forward from Miracle as they take down the Enchantress. Now they turn their attention towards Arme. He gets the shapeshift off, but Miracle still mana in the tag. Zips forward, picks up the kill. Again, these runes that Miracle's being able to utilize doing massive effects for Liquid as a team. and now they're chasing for more. Liquid, Miracle, he's got his hands with the help of Matuma onto Xnova, maybe pops the BKB, but Miracle just keeping himself to the sidelines for now. GH and Mind Control trying for the chase down onto this SF as the BKB is about to wear off. GH thinking about diving into the base there, but Liquid, they can keep themselves happy with this. They've taken 4 heroes down. As expected, as worried at the start of this game, the Storm Spirit pick is allowed to go pretty ham. Miracle having a very free time in these fights.
He's gone crazy in this game. The runes, as you're mentioning, are absolutely absurd. Every single time it seems like he had the Arcane at a clutch time, the DD at another clutch time to kill maybe in bottom lane. That fight too. He's got so many Bloodstone charges, and he's on his way to another item. It's 26 minutes. He's got 16k net worth on this Storm, level 22 as well.
I mean,
that is terrifying for LGD.
And we saw him, he did die the once, where he sort of overcommitted and didn't expect sort of the mana burn from the Necro books. But at this stage, how do you kill this man again? You have to rely on him messing up because there just isn't a lockdown. You've got to hope he zips into a stomp. Even at that, there's going to be a chance for the rest of Liquid to come in and back up Miracle. This Storm, a huge threat, and just a few hundred gold away from having Shiva's Guard. 27 minutes in, 17k net worth, 5k ahead of maybe Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and maybe there, he did get the BKB delivered right away, but he had to use it defensively to try to disengage. LGD have to be careful of when they go for those type of engagements where they have to hard disengage because of those disrupted glimpses, getting the catches. That time wasn't really more so Kuroki. It was more Kuroki just running in and dying and being like, okay, now my team can go in and get some kills. But yeah, this Storm Spirit is definitely a problem versus this lack of disable.
That's a massive problem.
I think that I didn't see if they were building into an Atos or something. I know FY, that used to be one of the big builds he did on the Elder Titan in order to deal with the Storm Spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah, he went
so
for
the Yule Scepter, yeah, this
game.
one, it's another option that you can do. But the Spirit Vessel also from GH is putting in work. You throw it either on the Lycan, you throw it on the Enchantress, either one, negate that healing or that HP regen from the Lycan.
Oh, I mean, Miracle with this Invis. Another rune that could set up for some kills. There's a smoke up from LGD.
Well, this might catch Liquid off guard. This could be a really nice smoke here for LGD.
Miracle's going to see, maybe, actually no, he won't. It's just on the edge of his vision. So Miracle's sort of away from the fight for now. Not that it matters too much. With the amount of mana he has, he can close the fight, close the gap very easily and get involved. If LGD can get some quick kills to start off, that would be the dream for LGD. They look to try and open in onto Matuma Man. Matuma Man going away. The slow comes through. Maybe pots the BKB, comes in with the raises. They'll take down Matuma Man, but on the backlines, Miracle zips in. He's managed to take down FY. Now wait out the BKB of maybe. Mind Control being chased down by Arme. Miracle's going to be there to force the Wolf to back up. You've got Chalice trying to go in, but Miracle zips across straight away, bringing down the Enchantress. Double kill for Miracle as he continues to rack up these Bloodstone charges. And in the tree line, they've also got their eyes onto Xnova. As Xnova will fall, so will Kuro. 2 for 3 trade. But the big old cause for Liquid still alive here. Miracle.
He's got 64 mana per second already at this time in the game. It just seems like the rest of the heroes on Liquid are cannon fodder. It's all Miracle show.
It really was the free Storm game that I think many would have worried it to be so far. 9k overall lead now as they break the tier 3s down on the top lane of LGD. And Miracle wants to go back in. He zips in straight away with the Orchid onto maybe the Shiva's Guard as well. He's going to bring him down low. Not quite enough to get the kill. Can he find it? He's trying to finish it off here.
He might die here.
He may have overstepped the mark. The timing is there. They brought him down.
Got greedy.
I mean, that was incredibly greedy from Miracle. No need whatsoever to go for that sort of play. But he says, screw it, I'll do it anyway. That's given Bloodstone charges down the pan, and a lot of money. I don't know who quite got the final kill, but that was 850 gold, I believe, to one of the members of LGD. That's a lot of money and experience to be given away as this Storm.
Who did get the last hit? Was it FY? Or was it the, if it was the Enchantress, that's unfortunate. Okay, it was FY. Because Enchantress still had the buyback reduction, but Storm is back up. They are ready to go, LGD. They are all positioned together, though.
He's got an Arcane Rune in the bottom as well, Miracle.
Oh, no.
That's the nightmare for LGD. Is back down, as we say, on the Bloodstone charges with that death, but with an Arcane Rune, he'll still be more than happy to fight for quite a fair bit of time.
LGD has to stay all perched together when it's nighttime. They don't want to get punished by that vision advantage. You see Ame constantly scouting with Wolves, trying to get information for his team on the map. They really want to wait for that Roche. It is up again, and they know that. They have scouted it. They can't let Liquid take this one away from them. That Roche is so important for LGD's push. If they're able to get it, they still have a good shot in this game.
They do. It's one of those games where we've seen the power of the push of LGD. If they can just take a team fight, find a pick-off. They are able to push it in an incredible speed, much faster than that of Liquid, at least when the Elder Dragon form isn't there for the push. Mind Control is going to use that ult for the Roshan attempt.
They're sending the Spirit in. FY is going to scout it out. Very hard to Roshan versus an Elder Titan.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the itemization start being changed for LGD.
Yeah,
Orchid
SF.
onto SF. They need to do something to deal with that Miracle Storm Spirit.
And of course, with the build that Miracle has, no Yules or BKB, the silence incredibly strong at this stage. Smoke on Smoke, who's going to get the jump that they want to. Miracle has been spotted out by the Wolves. He's going to zip in with the Shiva's Guard, keeps himself at the distance, and he goes up to the high ground. But Matumma Man popping the BKB, coming onto Maybe. It's going to be the silence straight out from the Storm Spirit Orchid onto FY. The stun to follow up. FY's falling low. Miracle zips himself away from the Requiem. BKB popped by Maybe. FY will fall. But LGD, they found two. There's the silence coming into play. Maybe, can he get the kill? He can. The Soul Burn will do it. Maybe finds the double. They raised down Mind Control. They cleaned up 4. They'll look towards GH with the Maledict, the impetus flying in. GH, surely this man's going to pop as he tries to run himself back to base. But the Maledict final tick will do it. GH is going to pop. LGD find the team wipe. That Orchid pickup by Maybe on his Shadow Fiend, setting up for this crucial kill once again onto Miracle Storm Spirit. They move into the base, and now they're threatening the racks of Liquid.
I was having a bit of a heart attack seeing that flying courier fly in with the Orchid, but he does get it delivered, gets the perfect silence off. Liquid had to commit so much to try to kill FY that everybody else on the LGD was just wailing on them, getting all their spells, all their abilities off. 2 sets of racks quickly being taken, the power of a Lycan lineup, and that is a 11k gold swing in quick moments.
And I don't know how Miracle's going to be feeling after, as we say, that mistake up top. Coming into the fight, we don't know if he was aware that the Orchid had been picked up on the SF. I'm sure he probably was checking the items, but maybe it was a little too late.
It was delivered mid-fight. They had no idea that was coming.
And being caught out like that, certainly it doesn't matter how good of a time your Storm Spirit was having, because you're shutting him down. Mind Control coming into this. What is going on? He just walks in, gets ripped to shreds by the physical damage. Miracle's trying for the blade. Comes in. Can he do anything big?
He gets the Aegis.
He can! He gets the Aegis and he gets the Roshan kill. The Storm's down from FY, but Liquid, they want to fight with this one. BKB pop by Matumma Man. He's trying to move in, but the Wolves, the Necro army keeping him back. Miracle's got the grab onto X-Nova's Witch Doctor, but the Earth Splitter's there. He has to be careful. He doesn't manage to duke it out. Miracle falling low, but he gets the kill. Aegis is popped. You're going to see Maybe. Rubber for the setup. He's looking for the Requiem timing. A bam! No, not quite got it. Miracle is able to zip out. Maybe messing up the timing just a little bit on the Requiem. Liquid have lost 2. Matumma Man and GH still being chased down. They need Miracle to do something. He'll get a courier at the least on the back of this.
Man, Mind Control and Matumma Man can't get into the fights. They walk in, they get shredded by the ET aura, by the impetuses, as well as all the summons. That's the one thing, is the Razor, he's trying to link up the Lycan, but it doesn't matter. There's all these summons just wailing on him at all these times.
And as we see, I mean, still LGD, they're going to be feeling overall good about this, but that Roshan steal and the Aegis snatch from Miracle, making sure that LGD can't fully run away with this game after getting this big momentum swing. That will put things back to a bit of a stop once again between these two teams.
Did you get a chance to see who got the cheese? I didn't get to see because there was so much going on in the fight.
That's true. Cheese was in there as well.
It's on Enchantress. Okay.
So Chalice able to at least take control of that.
Perfect warding, though, by LGD for sure in this game. They've been having sentries and obs down in the perfect positions to see when Liquid does go for those engagements.
Yeah, with the BKB on Miracle.
A lot safer now.
Absolutely. The silence was the big worry. The stomp timing as well off the back of the Yules. Neither of these is going to be an issue for Miracle when he has that magic community online in these team fights. But still, the pushing power is scaling up. You've got this Hyperstone AC on the way pretty shortly for Arme, as LGD continue to take objective after objective, taking tier 2s, cleaning up the shrines. Liquid cannot afford to make any more mistakes. Otherwise, this game, it's going to be over.
Absolutely. Their Tricore is not really a Tricore right now. It's Miracle versus the world. LGD, their 3 heroes are very strong. Their 3 cores, on top of with that FY ET aura, boosting them up so they do even more damage.
So the plan is here from LGD. I mean, as we say, they don't have the Aegis, they do have the cheese.
They have to kind of stay grouped together, though. If they split up on the map, that's where Miracle can start picking them off. That's where the glimpses start coming into play as well. So they do want to keep themselves all together. The two side lanes will push in naturally. They've also even sent the Wolves or the Dominator in that top lane to push it in even more. So bottom lane, they want to end this game. They don't want to take it to too late of a stage.
A very important push for LGD not to mess up. GH to be a little careful here as he heads into the vision, but not quite the same catch potential on LGD as Liquid do have. With a disruptor in play from Kura.
That was a BKB picked up on the Enchantress too now.
Okay.
So yeah, the 3 cores on LGD are very, very strong in comparison.
And yeah, that BKB is so important for Chalice, because as we've seen in the fights, Miracle will zip straight away on top of that Enchantress.
Yep.
That is the kill, that is the huge amount of damage output that's coming from LGD that you want to take out at the start of the fight. And no longer going to be possible for that Storm to do alone. So things are getting very scary for Liquid here.
GH has to be careful. Uh-oh.
The setup, there's the Yules. They've managed to catch him out with the Stomp. GH is down, LGD.
This is exactly what they were looking for. Miracle was pushing in that top lane, so the Liquid doesn't have to worry about that one, but bottom lane is pushing in hard. GH might have to buy back if an engagement does come out.
How do they stop this push? It's so hard for Liquid with the pushing power that LGD have. Miracle's going to zip in, try and kick things off. There's going to be a buyback from GH. They've got the control onto the SF.
Oh, they actually get him
down. He doesn't get a chance to pop the BKB or anything, as the stun was there in time from this Dragon Knight. And now LGD have to back, but Chalice isn't going to be fortunate enough to do so. 2 huge kills for Miracle to find, and they're going to find more. X-Nova knows that he can't get himself out of this one, lets himself fall to the Storm. Triple kill for Miracle. What a hold to pull off there. Is that initiation immediately onto this SF. He couldn't get his BKB off, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think Chalice could either at the end of that.
Yeah, the perfect combo with the pull into the DK stun, those long duration disables onto the SF. More than enough for them to burst him down.
That is very scary for LGD.
And do they have any of those? Do they have any defensive items on their supports? I don't think that they have a Glimmer nor a Force Staff. No. It's only the Enchantress with a Force, so they weren't able to even throw anything on top of that SF to try to save him during all that. So that could be the next items of choice. After that kind of situation happens, they definitely are going to be like, wow, we need to itemize to make sure that maybe survives.
I think seeing that as well, I think it just showed the BKB from the Enchantress was still actually on the
still
courier.
At base, right?
Or as such, he didn't actually manage to get it out to him before they went for that push. I mean, albeit it was sort of Liquid kicking the fight off, as Miracle just made a beeline straight into the fight on top of that SF.
Yeah.
But now look at this. It's Liquid's time to put a bit of pressure into the base of LGD as they get this push down the middle lane.
Ahmed's doing the split push top. Maybe we'll be respawning in about 8 seconds. Liquid have their BKBs at the ready.
I mean, Miracle as well with the completed Bloodthorn. Very scary if he gets his hands on
anything.
anything.
Big wave top.
They've got to head back for this, otherwise Arme, he will be able to clear out more of the base. He's actually going, is he going to go for the tier 4s at the bottom? He's going to make his way down towards the bottom racks. Miracle will zip himself away. Liquid are backing out of this, trying to get themselves out of it. FY seeing if he can catch some TBs with the Yules. He'll look towards GH. Silence is there, but they won't find anything else to hold him down. Miracle also fine with the zip away. Arme's being trapped in the middle. They've got the catch. Kuro with the static soul and kinetic field, trapping the Wolf. And that indeed is no Lycan for 80 seconds for LGD. FY looking for the stomp onto Miracle, but BKB's there. Shiva's Guard and the Bloodthorn bringing him down low, but the Ghost Scepter and the heal from X-Nova's Witch Doctor.
And a regen rune. Man, Miracle's rune luck this game is unbelievable.
Looks like Ice Frog's a Liquid fanboy.
Very ideal situation to get that regen. Can keep it active, keep pushing out the lanes. Ahmed dead for 50 seconds. Liquid might want to try to force this, but their lanes are still in a bit of jeopardy, so they will have to push those out. LGD sitting in their base. Don't want to get picked off during all this.
45 seconds, still no like. It looks like, yeah, this window not going to be the end of the game for LGD. They will still be able to hold, but still very, very exciting between these two teams. 30-30 at this 40-minute mark coming up. 5K lead for Liquid off the back of that last fight.
Yeah, incredibly close game.
It really is. This is... And we've got quite a treat for you guys at home, of course. This is the game 1 of a best of 5 between these two teams, and you could not hope for a better way to start.
So Ame will be respawning. They aren't able to, like, Liquid aren't able to force that one out. LGD should be pretty happy about that one. They're able to reacquire their souls on the Shadow Fiend as well. And oh look, another Arcane Rune inside of Miracle's bottle.
Oh, and a haste rune to top it off as well.
Of course.
Why not?
It has hit the 40-minute mark, so double runes.
I mean, we've seen how good he has been with the runes so far. doubling up the chance to get the good ones. That's got to be bad news for LGD, if anything.
Look at maybe's items. He's going for the Son of Doom, as you like to call it, right?
The Son of Doom build.
He's got the Bloodthorn as well as the Nullifier. If you can throw it both on somebody,
yeah,
can't do anything.
Doom would be proud.
The only way you can help them is if somebody Lotus Orbs them, which they don't have, of course. Miracle being stalked by a wolf. Oh man, that could have been scary for a moment.
Still hard to, because as you say, he's just got the silence at the moment. With the Nullifier not quite out on him?
No, he's got the Nullifier as well. Yeah, he went for that 4-step play to try to nullify.
I mean, still it's hard to hit him because of the projectile timing. Like there is a chance for Miracle to react and zip unless you're right next to him. So
definitely,
it's still hard to get it upon him, even though you do have those items. As he'll surely be playing very carefully, and he is going towards that Lincoln Sphere as well next.
Yeah, that's going to be very crucial for him to avoid not only the silence as well as that Nullifier.
They have to perfectly throw everything down on him.
Yeah,
if they want a chance of killing the Storm.
How's our DK's items? Has he progressed on anything with Mind Control? Gone for the Blink Dagger. I do like that a lot. Being able to get that follow-up stun on top of Miracle, as we saw previously versus that Shadow Fiend is going to be really crucial for Liquid to take the fights. Matu has finished up AC, trying to tank up, get that Satanic as well. Just trying to be like the brute, take all the brute force of the action from LGD so that the rest of his teammates can do most of that damage. And we will see, as we were mentioning, the Lotus Orb is very important to remove not only the silence, but that Nullifier. We do see GH has queued it up to try to save Miracle. Well, on this side, we do still have Chalice, right, with that 10-second BKB. Has not used it on the Enchantress just yet.
Mind Control, thinking about getting a look in here, but there is a sentry down mid. On the side, Mind Control coming in, the BKB's already out though, and they turn straight away to get the Nullifier out onto Miracle. Miracle's down. LGD, they've done it here, they've taken down the Storm. Can they take down anyone else? They're Liquid moving forward. Buyback's going to be there from Miracle. He knows that Liquid can turn this fight if they put their full force into it. Big zip forward from Miracle as he closes the gap. Does get held back by the Stomp from FY. Chalice peeling Matuma-Man and Kroki as well, away from the rest of the action. Sliding himself away. 2 buybacks from Liquid committed for this. They have to find more, and they will get Chalice at least. Close the gap onto the Enchantress, take him down. And now we'll see what they can do with this. There's 60 seconds no like, and he does not have buyback. But as we say, Liquid buying back on both Miracle and Mind Control for that engagement. Roshan isn't quite back up yet. So even that may just stand a little too far away for the takings. Is it going to be...
Did it just spawn? Oh, no, Matu's still just sitting in the pit. It looked like he was pinging it. It looked like he thought it spawned.
It is going to be up pretty shortly.
Yeah, very soon.
It's going to be up soon, but probably about the same time that LGD have their lineup back in the game. And X-Nova, he's hunting down, but there's a sentry. He's walked straight into the vision. Liquid will pick up the Witch Dog to kill.
That fight, though, LGD, that Nullifier coming into play right away.
Yeah.
10 seconds till the Roche does spawn.
And sure, at the end of the day, Liquid, they do get the big kills off the back of it, but it is a hefty expense for them to win that fight. Roshan back up in 5 seconds.
As soon as they leave the pit, it is going to be spawning, but Matu seems very aware that it's going to be happening soon. Goes back in the pit, and bam, there it is. 35 seconds until Witch Doctor respawns, but the core heroes on LGD are up. That Lycan and SF, they won't be able to contest this.
They could take it pretty quick. And with the Roshan going down and being the Refresher Shard, the cheese and the Aegis, this is when you can say absolutely worth it. Those buybacks from Liquid, they get the kills, they get these objectives, and with the Aegis, cheese and Refresher Shard, suddenly life becomes very, very difficult for LGD to turn up into these fights as they would get the Refresher Shard, of course, over to Matumba so he can get the double Eye of the Storm out in the team fights.
Yep.
And also the double link as well does work at stacking up together if you do 2 static links.
Miracle gets a regen. Really needs that Lincoln Sphere so that he can't get nullified, though.
Yeah.
Or pre-click the BKB, but he doesn't want to have to do it. He wants to maximize that BKB usage. The question is,
did he expect it last fight? I don't know if had he seen it yet on the SF? I don't think he had he?
I don't know if he had. The thing is that I did see GH queued up the Lotus Orb before that, so it seemed like he kind of thought that was coming. So I feel like they had to know that was there. It just caught them off guard. LGD was too quick with it. That aggressive Hurricane Pike coming in from maybe.
Yeah, the instant BKB as well from him. Yeah, maybe, as you say, just doing everything to give LGD the best sort of punch to kick things off and the start of the fight. Smoke, but already GH, they're going to be dispelling it. They do get the silence, but it's nighttime. He's speedy and he's out of there. The smoke put to a stop as LGD can't find the movement they were hoping for off the back of that.
That Shadow Blade pick up on Night Stalker coming in clutch. LGD at an 8K disadvantage now. The timing has passed a bit with their lineup. That's the one thing. The BKB start ticking down. The Lycan starts losing a lot of that power. Not having Aegis and Cheese is a lot of that detriment to LGD's lineup. And Chalice is outside. He does have BKB though. Isn't even forced to pop it.
Yeah.
Miracle really wants the Lotus or the Lincoln Sphere before they try to take an engagement.
I believe he has got that now on the courier.
LGD is now
out to him.
LGD trapped in their base a bit here. Not going to be able to get any bonus in farm. This is where Liquid will pull it further and further ahead for the moment.
All about if they can take the Storm out at the start of the fight. But I mean, to be fair, at the same time, Tumberman and Mind Control are starting to become pretty prominent forces of their own with the time that has passed.
Mind Control's job is pretty much just like try to get the stun off on anybody. He just stun the Shadow Fiend, stun the Lycan. His job is done. Throw that Breathe Fire, get the damage reduction. He is not about any of that deeps. Sure, if he survives longer, that's where you see the Dragon form come into play because of the slow and whatnot, but the stun is the most important part for him, just to get that lockdown so the Storm Spirit can kill everybody. But yeah, Matu is definitely starting to dish out a hell of a lot of damage once he gets his level 25 as well with that attack speed bonus.
Look at GH here, just coming straight into the base with that Shadow Blade, getting as much information as he can. Of course, at the moment, LGD all up towards the top lane. GH will reveal himself quite confidently in the middle. As Satanic also complete out for the Tumberman. FY looking for the setup, but Miracle zips straight in. That's going to be the Ghost Scepter keeping FY alive. Miracle has to zip straight back out. They pop the Shapeshift on Arme, but no real way to close the gap onto Liquid. So Liquid able to poke the Shapeshift out of Arme. At the same time, though, Tumberman did pop the Eye of the Storm.
Yep. FY with quick fingers there. Getting the Ghost Scepter off saved his life.
Yeah, very short cooldown on that Eye of the Storm, 40 seconds, and he does still have the Refresher Shard. GH trying to come in, but they have a fresh sentry down, LGD.
There's no Shapeshift for 50 seconds. That's a lot of Ame's potential to actually take fights, so Liquid might try to just take advantage of that, even though they don't have the Eye of the Storm. They have the Refresher Shard.
A lot of weight on maybe on this SF to do some heavy lifting in the fights without Lycan being at his full potential. As they clear up the range racks mid. Miracle now looking towards top. Lincoln's has been broken, but he keeps the distance. Keeps himself safe. You have this Glimmer Cape, X-Nova Witch Doctor trying to close the gap. Does get a good paralyzing cast there off between the two of them on the side of it all. Can they do anything off the back of it? They zip forward. BKB's out by both Maybe and Miracle. Miracle has to back away. The physical damage too much from this SF. They get the Nullified down onto Mind Control. DK out of this one. Splitter not going to connect onto anyone as Miracle zips himself out, keeping the distance, but he's low on mana. Now Shapeshifts back up. Arme, he's ready to chase. Looks towards Miracle. He's moving back in. Can they kill the SF? Oh, the Echo Stomp from FY. Holding back GH and Miracle. Oh, no!
Something happened. Okay.
All right.
That was scary for a second for Maybe, too. He was getting turned on there, but the stomp from FY in the bank lines really saved that Shadow Fiend.
It did.
Water break for Kuro. A very stressful moment right here.
Two ways the fight could still certainly go.
They've still got Aegis and Cheese, right, on the side of Liquid. They didn't. Did they actually accept to expend the Cheese?
I didn't notice it yet.
Don't know yet.
I don't think they have as of now.
Mind Control got nullified and destroyed in that fight.
It's unfortunate, but at the same time, you have to have sympathies for the player that needed the pause. X-Nova may have had some serious issues with his keyboard. And in a fight like this, you want to be able to press those buttons.
Yeah, we do see, look at Liquid's base. We can see a little bit on the corner of that mini-map on the big screen there. It is being jeopardized quite heavily by all those creeps.
I mean, X-Nova, it seems he doesn't have the Death Ward available. I'm trying to see his position at the moment during this pause on the
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We can still look at the back screen, huh?
Oh, where is the Reach Doctor at the moment? He is... Well, we should be able to find out pretty soon, as I'm sure they are able to sort things out. They're checking out the keyboard. A headset's back on for X-Nova, as we should be ready to get ourselves back into this one. Yeah, the G's been cool. We're going to get ourselves back into the game.
Let's go.
So hopefully we can get it onto your screens ASAP. As here we go. So let's see how this fight does end up resuming. Miracle does fall once. They pop the Aegis, but Tumberman got the BKB off. Arme looking to chase him down, but the kinetic field from Kuro holds him back. Miracle ready for round two. Straight into the base. He is hunting, and he's hunting deep. Won't quite be able to find the kill that he was after, though.
Look at the path that the Shadow Fiend took, going all the way down the south side to the bottom lane. Miracle really wanted to punish him there because his BKB was down, but...
Very smart escape from Maybe.
Yeah, very clutch.
So both teams able to disengage for the most part, but the Aegis has been taken out of the hands of Liquid. Mind Control's life as well. has been lost.
And that was the that was a refresher shard popped on Matu. So it doesn't have that one for the next fight. But the cheese, I believe, is still on Mind Control, right? Because he got nullified, so he couldn't use the cheese to save himself. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought had happened.
Yep.
Woo!
So the game continues, still Liquid with the advantage, 10k lead. And getting to the point as well where those buybacks will be back and available for both Mind Control and Miracle. Just 1 minute until those are back off cooldown.
This is where all the clutch plays need to come out. You need to watch the timing of your BKB, watch those nullifier projectiles. Kurogi trying to get farmed up. He has hit level 20 on the Disruptor, so it gets that 1 to 80 GPM talent. This Lotus Orb pickup could be very, very massive for them. But now maybe does have a butterfly for himself.
I mean, he certainly does punch if he gets the Bloodthorn down with those crits flying in and the rate that he's attacking.
Yeah, there is the Bloodthorn to kind of deal with that one, but if he has the BKB plus the Butterfly active, there's no way for them to really pierce that evasion.
See what they could do here, Arme. Take down Shrines. Liquid, do they want to try and take a fight out of the back of this? They are heading out onto the map with the Shadow Blades. Mind Control leading the way. Who's he going to find here?
Oh, maybe stun.
No, they get the stun onto the SF straight away. Miracle coming forward. They got the Hurricane Pike, though, creating the distance from Maybe, trying to get him away. Miracle comes in, and he's able to take down Maybe. That's the SF falling for 100 seconds. X-Nova going for the Death Ward, but the fighting power's too much for Liquid as they take down the Witch Doctor. They cut down the Wolf. Arme is down. Kuro's got the glimpse onto Chalice, holding this Enchantress in place under the cover of the kinetic field. Mind Control comes in, has the stun. They're looking for a 4th kill. GH is also playing around with FY as FY tries his best to escape out of this one.
Mind Control attack so slow.
It's the slowest and most painful kill of a Bambi you've seen, but they will do it. Bring him down, get the team wipe. Liquid cleaning up LGD.
That low ground stance by LGD was not optimal. They get the instant disable onto the Shadow Fiend follow up with Miracle. Full buybacks coming out from LGD, but there is no buyback on the Shadow Fiend.
It's going to be very hard to hold, that's for sure. With 3 heroes on, can LGD stop Liquid now? As Liquid heads straight towards the top set of barracks. 15 seconds and X-Nova will be back up on the Witch Doctor.
They will be able to claim this one, this set of racks quite easily here. They don't want to fight without their Shadow Fiend.
They still have the racks down bottom, LGD, that they will hold on to for dear life. They've probably got one more fight left in them, but the stun immediately from Mind Control, catching out the Enchantress, meaning no chance for a BKB.
Instant 3 BKBs by Liquid as well, not to get hit by that stomp from FY.
15 seconds and they'll have the SF back, but Arme dragged back into the Static Storm. He's down as well. Liquid getting the core kills, forcing the rest of LGD back to base.
It does seem like they've done it.
They've got Maybe back in 5 seconds, but they are on the verge of being mega creeped here, LGD, as Liquid clean out the third final set of barracks from the bottom lane. Mega creeps are out for Liquid. And what can LGD do? It looks like they do want to try and give it one last hurrah.
But it's just the Shadow Fiend core. He doesn't have souls
and
either.
He's just
instantly
been
stunned.
Immediately Mind Control with these blink stuns, making it impossible for them to react. He does get the BKB out, but it won't keep that SF alive. That'll be Maybe to fall. X-Nova as well, he'll be going down. As LGD just getting pulled apart piece by piece. Liquid onto the tier 4s.
Unbelievably close game.
And there we have it.
GG
is called. Team Liquid taking game 1 against LGD. Had its ups and downs, LGD showing a lot of promise, but at the end of the day, it was the clutch plays, really. The combination of Mind Control getting the stun, and Miracle having as free a game as he did on the Storm Spirit, able to just instantly close the gap and finish off any kill that was set up at full.
Like you said, though, Ice Frog did seem to bless Liquid a bit in this game. Miracle getting the perfect runes, it did seem, inside that early game. That Arcane rune, that Regen rune at the clutch moment as well. But man, Liquid, they're feeling the pressure off that. GH. Looks like his ears are starting to hurt a little bit. That was a very, very close back and forth game. It did seem like LGD could have it. But man, those combination plays, that Miracle plus Mind Control disables were a big deal. It did not seem like LGD had enough defensive things to throw onto Maybe. So maybe that's one thing they could look back and be like, we wanted to save him more. He's really crucial for our lineup once we get past that 35-minute mark. But yeah, Liquid are successful in this one.
And I think as well, definitely something that's unlikely to happen again is sort of the Storm Spirit getting through in a game where he's going to be as strong as he is. Sure, you know, Miracle did make some mistakes, and LGD were able to kill him a few times. The itemization was pretty spot on, as we saw from maybe getting this Nullifier Bloodthorn build-up to actually do something about the Storm. But the fact that they were having to do that and didn't just have heroes with innate abilities to deal with that sort of mobility core was sort of the end of the day, the real demise for LGD.
For sure.
So we'll see how they do adapt their draft, see how things change up. As we say, LGD showing some hope here in this game one, but the Storm Spirit and the draft overall proving to be a little too strong for them as Liquid take game one. Don't go anywhere, we'll head you straight back to the panel. 1, 2, 3,
And that was just game one, you guys. We're in for at least 2 more of those nerve-wracking games. That was a great way to start. Unfortunately for LGD, they couldn't get that win on the board, but Liquid did. But it was a struggle. Before the game started, we mentioned it's either going to be Liquid that's going to have a fat Storm or Lycan that's going to be fat. And it turned out they were both fat, although Miracle was a little bit more rich than...
They were both fat, but one of them was a little greedy, Sheeps.
Yes, he was.
It was Storm Spirit.
Yes.
And Cap and I were discussing it, weren't we, Cap?
Well, talk to me.
And I made a good point, didn't I, Cap?
What was the point?
Yes,
the point was this. Cap said, I can't believe they're going to lose this. Well, they were going to lose it because it's such a free Storm game. And it was a free Storm game because he could just go wherever he wanted.
Yeah.
And at times he was like, this is a free Storm game, I can't die, and zipped into 4 people and died. It did happen.
Yes.
And I think that was the only thing that delayed them. And it did look briefly like LGD were going to snatch victory from Liquid's hands. But instead, they just couldn't get it over the line. I think the Miracle eventually went, all right, wait. I'll win it now, lads, don't worry.
And then he still zipped it.
How dare you, Ted?
I'm sorry.
How dare you say something like that about Miracle? I absolutely did not agree. Yeah, I
would say it to his face.
It's Curl referred to it as the strongman syndrome, right? Where you think you're so big in the game that you could just go and do whatever you want. It was a free Storm Spirit game, and there was definitely times where Miracle dove in a bit too deep.
Crossed the line.
Yeah, like one time he dove in, and it was just the Necronomicon just picked up by the Lycan. He was able to burn out enough mana out of the Storm, kind of killed his role. Another time was the Fresh Orchid
Surprise
picked up.
Orchid, yeah.
Yep, there was then the Nullifier was honestly, itemization and play by LGD was so good.
Yeah, they did well.
I thought this was going to be a 3-1 to Liquid. I am actually revising that to now 3-2 for Liquid because
you think they're going to take it close?
I mean, just look at that game. Like the fact that they managed to push this and almost win this against what was definitely a surprise last pick Storm Spirit that they didn't anticipate. That was a really good Storm Spirit game. They itemized as best they could about it. They played really well around each other as well. Honestly, LGD played fantastically.
They really did. They got a little bit unlucky with Miracle getting all those runes. Arcane runes.
Jeez. How many Arcane runes are you going to get? How many DD runes are you going to get? Come on, it's luck. It was pure luck.
Well, after 40 minutes, double runes, so there's like a 50% chance almost that you're going to get one of those two.
Well, and he was making sure that he was walking to both of them.
Yes.
Or zipping because he had infinite mana, because at that point he had like an insane amount of Bloodstone charges.
But what was that V that he did inside the base
at the
when
end?
he lost the Aegis?
At one point, the crowd went, "Wah!" Anyone? Let us know.
I think they were thinking like, okay, his BKB is down or out of mana. I don't know.
He did something. It looked to me like he zipped. There was nothing there, and he zipped back, and the crowd went wild. I was like, all right, this guy can do anything.
Maybe we'll see it in the highlight reel. Who knows? But this is the highlight reel.
So Liquid, the first thing that happened in this game was that Liquid established very strong lanes. Pretty much LGD was left with only being able to get kills because the top 3 CS on the board, and you can see it right here in the top net worth, was all of the Liquid cores because they had a Dragon Knight versus an Enchantress, which they're happy with. They aggro tri-lane to make sure that the supports of LGD were locked in to defending that Lycan rather than trying to gank the Storm Spirit, which means Miracle actually had a very good game, especially at the start. Against an SF with no souls, he managed to get a really large CS lead to start the whole entire game. And then it just eventually turned into the Miracle show where he's got his Bloodstone, he's got a lot of regen, and he could pretty much just zip around everywhere. But LGD were still winning fights despite the fact that they didn't really have a good way to handle the Storm Spirit. A lot of it was their positioning, really clutch TPs out as well.
And itemization.
Yeah, and itemization. Honestly, the best play, I think, of almost the whole entire game was that the play near the top tier 2, which I'm sure we'll see, where LGD were able to take a Rax off of that. And this was one of the biggest downfalls of Liquid here, where a gank onto a Razor turns into like 4 people dying from Liquid. Because Miracle jumps in, he thinks he's going to get 2 support kills, he only gets 1, and he dies, and then they catch Kuro as well as mind control off of this, I think.
I mean, we were saying how hard it is to disengage when there's a disruptor, and I think the commentators actually mentioned it. Disengaging from an Enchantress ain't no joke either.
No.
And we often saw the Razor going like, oh, I'm piecing on this, and he could not. Enchantress just slowed him and beat him up, and I think mind control suffered a bit from that as well. I mean, this SF did a lot in the game.
He really did.
But I mean, this is the problem. I love that combo. The Night Stalker, Disruptor, get these ridiculous glimpses from outer space, bringing them back into hell.
Yeah.
And they did that time and again. And I think it was that set it up. I mean, Miracle at this point, you know, all right, they're going to lose mind control probably, but it doesn't matter. It's all Bloodstone charges. It's all good stuff for Miracle.
Yeah. What I really liked about LGD's lineup, by the way, was that every time they did win a fight, they were able to take towers and racks so fast because of their lineup. So they didn't need to win that many fights to be able to have an impact, as long as the fights that they did win were on the right side of the map and the lanes were pushed out in the way that it was needed to.
That's why that clip that we saw earlier where the SF was hiding in the trees, which was such an intelligent play by LGD, because they knew they had the power to be able to turn things around. They knew Liquid would chase. They naturally will with these kind of heroes. Storm Spirit, Night Stalker, and Disruptor all want to be able to chase. So they set up that turnaround, and a play like that almost wins you the game outright. Like, they're able to take the lane of Rax. They were finally in a really great position. It's just unfortunate that the lineup of Liquid was able to persevere despite LGD doing so well for themselves. Like, Team Liquid definitely screwed up in that mid engagement where they lost 4. LGD made a really sick play at that top tier 2 area with that turnaround play with the SF ulti. Those were like the 2 biggest moments of the game where LGD almost won. But eventually, like Storm Spirit, game like this, it's just so hard, right? Because you have to build a Orchid and a Nullifier. Like, you build the Orchid, he counters you with the BKB. You build the Nullifier, and he actually counters you with, BKB. Well, he picks up the Aegis. Is what happens, right? They buy back, they get the Aegis.
Yeah, but he snatched the Aegis. He wasn't even supposed to have it.
A good snatch.
A good snatch indeed. I mean, there were a couple of very important Roche fights this game, or fights around the Roche, I should say, even. That, I mean, the way that LGD played them, they were able to split up the team fight as much as they wanted to make sure that Storm Spirit was isolated somewhere else. Sure, he was going to kill who he was on, but at the same time, they could take care of the Razor. MVP, though, indeed goes to Miracle.
He was almost MVP for LGD, which is the thing. But as it is,
hey, I'm sure Kuro and Heen will probably have some words for Miracle after that game.
The thing is, if you try to hamper a guy like that and say, you have to play a more steady style, he doesn't make those awesome plays. And in another day, he pulls off a kill and gets away on 10 HP, and everyone's like, he's a god, he knows just how to do it, but sometimes it goes wrong.
Yep, this is still a lineup that does, much like the old OG, enables Miracle quite a bit. He's a special kind of player, and there's only so much you can rein in that instinct that he has.
Absolutely.
Well, we don't have a statsman here, but I still want to share a stat that I saw from Nahas on Twitter. At 27 minutes, Miracle had 17.4k net worth. And that was the second highest in all of 7.0 in 600 games played of Storm Spirit games.
Was it 27 minutes?
27 minutes. Not 26, not 28, 27.
And that was after, like, that was definitely after that blunder that they had in the mid lane, right? So you could very easily see how if they don't make that kind of blunder on the side of Liquid, they actually could have just skyrocketed and they would have closed this game out by like 35 minutes.
Also, another trivia. This win for Liquid right now was Kuroki's 999th victory
So if he wins one more Sheeps, what would that mean?
That means he is the first pro player to have 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, the first in all of the
We're going to
Dota
see
2
it
pros.
live here, I assume.
That'd be hilarious. LGD just smack him down 3 games in a row, doesn't get the 1,000th win.
And he never won again.
That would be very depressing. Wow. Not gonna, don't worry, guys.
So upset they lost to LGD 3-1 that he just retires from Dota.
He just got the
never
yips
comes
about
back.
making it to 1,000.
Yeah, let's hope that's not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. We might see Liquid win here again. I mean, we don't know. That's the beauty.